Hello my intelligent friends, welcome to this 25th lecture, last lecture on the topic of bills of exchange, wherein I am solving all the different practical questions as well as basic theory questions and theory discussion on this particular topic. So last question, journalize the following transactions in the books of Apurva. So we are writing in the books of Apurva. Prashant's acceptance for 60 days, rupees 12,750 deposited into bank for collection. Very simple transaction. Prashant's acceptance. So what must have happened? Apurva must have drawn the bill, given it to Prashant. Prashant must have accepted it and given it back to Apurva. Apurva, instead of keeping it in his own cash box and afterwards collecting it on the due date, etc., he is going it to the bank and telling the bank that you work as my clerk, you work as my agent. He is telling the bank to work as an agent or to work as a clerk of Apurva. That is the only entry which is required to be passed. So today bill is going out of Apurva's hands and an agent is getting created. The name of the agent is bank for collection account. Entry will be bank for collection account debit to bills receivable account. Let me consider in the books of Apurva. They have not given us the entry, so I'll consider point number. What is the point number? A or B1? Yeah, it is A. So point number A, entry is bank for collection account debit, bank for collection account debit to bills receivable account. Bank for collection account debit to bills receivable account. Amount is rupees 12,750. 12,750. Being bill sent to bank for collection. Being bill sent to bank for collection. Being bill sent to bank for collection. Khatam. Simple entry, no tension, single entry, simple entry. Point number B. Apurva sold goods to Kirti for rupees 20,000 and received her acceptance for the same amount for 2 months. The bill was endorsed to Rekha. So there are three transactions. Number one, Apurva is selling goods to Kirti, so sale entry. Next, receiving the bill from her, so bills receivable entry. And next, it is endorsing, he is endorsing it to Rekha, so endorsement entry. So there are three entries: sale of goods, receipt of bills receivable, and endorsement of bills receivable. Entry will be point number B, point number B, point number B, and first entry in that. Okay. He is selling the goods to whom? He is selling the goods to Kirti. So Kirti is the receiver and goods are going out. Entry will be Kirti account debit to sales account. Amount is rupees how much? Goods sold are of rupees 20,000. So entry will be 20,000, being goods sold on credit. Being goods sold on credit. Full stop. Next, then Apurva is asking Kirti to accept a bill. Bill is coming in, debit what comes in, entry will be bills receivable account debit to Kirti account, because Kirti is accepting it and giving it to us. Amount is rupees 20,000. Being bill received duly accepted. Next one, point number B, entry number 3. We are now endorsing it, and endorsing it in whose favor? In favor of Rekha. Rekha is the receiver and bill is going out. Entry will be Rekha account debit to receivable, bills receivable account. Amount is rupees how much? 20,000, being bill endorsed, or you can say being Kirti's bill endorsed. Being bill endorsed. Khatam. Simple entry, no tension. Intelligent students like you can solve it very easily, not just with me but also in the exam without me. Very good situation, very nice. Next one is point number C. Now this is little bit tricky. Received 30% of the amount due from the private estate of Mukta. Now why should we receive from private estate of Mukta? The word private estate is generally coming when the person has become insolvent. So it seems that Apurva must have drawn bill on Mukta, and on the due date Mukta is not in a position to pay. She has dishonored the bill. Thereafter she is declared insolvent, so her private estate is being sold, and whatever money is collected from her private estate, that is being paid to her creditors. And we are the creditors, we are Apurva, we are also creditors, so we are getting some money, but we are not getting full money, we are getting only 30% of the amount due from Mukta, okay, her private estate, who was declared as insolvent. Mukta had dishonored her acceptance of rupees 23,850 and noting charges paid were rupees 150. So there are three transactions. Number one, bill dishonored. Number two, noting charges. And number three is 30% amount received, rest of the amount is bad debts. So let me consider that particular situation. Point number C. In point number C, I am considering entry number 1 first. What is entry number 1? Bills receivable is getting dishonored and Mukta is again becoming our debtor. Entry will be Mukta account debit to bills receivable account. Amount is rupees 23,000. How much? 23,850. 23,850. Being bill dishonored. Being bill dishonored. Okay. Next point after this will be the next entry which we are supposed to pass. That will be for noting charges, and the amount of noting charges is given by the problem as rupees 150. So again the entry will be same, Mukta account debit to cash or bank account, Mukta account debit to cash account, being noting charges paid. Amount is rupees 150. Being noting charges paid. Okay, this is point number C, and in point number C we are considering which entry? Entry number 2. Next is after that we are going to receive only 30% from her estate. So total amount which we should have received from her is 23,850 plus 150. 23,850 plus 150, that goes to 24,000. Out of those 24,000 we are going to receive only how much money? 30% we are going to receive, so that goes to 7,200. Entry will be how much? 7,200. Cash is received, rest of the money cannot be received, that is required to be written off as bad debts. So point number C, entry number 3, cash account debit, bad debts account debit to Mukta account. Cash account debit is how much? 30%. Bad debts account debit is how much? 70%. And to Mukta account is rupees 24,000. Cash account debit is 7,200 because that is 30%. Rest of the money will be considered here. Calculate the amount. 24,000 minus 4,000 is equal to 20,000 minus 3,000 is equal to 17,000 minus 200 is equal to 16,800. So 16,800 is the amount, being 30% received, being 30% received from Mukta and balance transferred to bad debts. From Mukta and balance transferred to bad debts. Okay, so that is done. Here we complete point number C, and let us now consider the last point, that is point number E. Sorry for that. Today I took many lectures, so it has caused a little bit of pressure on my throat. Point number D. Yes, what is happening in point number D? Apurva renews her acceptance. Apurva renews her acceptance. Okay, we are writing in the books of Apurva, and Apurva is renewing her own acceptance. That means it is Apurva's bills payable. Renewal, that means old bill is dishonored, and then in place of that new bill is coming. So Apurva renews her acceptance of rupees 36,000 to Anuradha. So Anuradha has become our creditor, and our old bill is cancelled. Old bill was of rupees how much? 36,000, and Anuradha has become our creditor by rupees 36,000. Then we are paying her how much amount? We are paying her 6,000 rupees by check. We are accepting a new bill for 2 months for the balance, along with interest at the rate of 14.5% per annum. So we will have to consider different entries. Number 1, old bill dishonored. Number 2, payment of cash. Number 3, calculation of interest or recording of interest. And number 4, new bill, which will be equal to balance amount plus interest. Okay, so let us consider that particular thing. Point number D, first point. Point number D, first point is dishonor of our own bills payable. Entry will be bills payable, account debit, bills payable account debit to, who is that person? The person was Anuradha, to Anuradha account, and the amount is rupees how much? 36,000. Very good, the amount is 36,000. Being our acceptance dishonored. Being our acceptance dishonored. Next point, point number D, and in which second entry we are paying partial cash. How much cash we are paying? 6,000. To whom we are paying? Anuradha. So entry will be Anuradha account debit. To, they have told by cash or by check? They have told to pay it by check. So I specify to bank account. Amount is rupees how much? 6,000. Being part payment made. Being part payment made. Being part payment made. Okay, next point, after part payment is being complete, next point will be, we are supposed to consider, yes, interest. Point. Let me disappear from the screen so that you can see the entire screen properly. I am supposed to pass 2 entries, so I'll require some more space. Let me reduce this. Okay, point number D. Point number 4, sorry 3, we are going to pay the interest. To whom? To Anuradha. Anuradha, we are agreeing that we will pay interest to her. That means interest is our expenditure, and this interest is payable to Anuradha. Anuradha is our creditor. Entry will be interest account debit. We have not yet paid the interest. We have just agreed that we are going to pay interest. So interest account debit, and to whom we are going to pay? We are going to pay to Anuradha. So Anuradha is our creditor not only by 36 minus 6 matlab 30,000, but she is also our creditor by additional amount of interest. So to Anuradha account, being interest charged, and amount of interest will be, you have to calculate the interest, that is equal to 36,000 minus 6,000 into, they have told you 14.5% into how many months they have told? They have told you months, 2 months, so into 2 by 12. So into 2/12. Okay, please calculate the interest. 36,000 minus 6,000 is equal to 30,000. So 30,000 into 14.5%, that goes to 4350. 4350 into 2/12 is equal to 725. So the interest will be rupees 725. Okay, being interest charged, or you can say being interest recorded, that is also okay. Next, now last part, renewal. That is the beauty of the transaction, that we are required to go for renewal of this particular transaction. That means new bill must be replaced, or new bill must be coming into picture. Okay, so to bring the new bill into picture, it is necessary for us to consider the entry for bills receivable or bills payable for us. Now this entry will be coming here, D and 4. To whom we will be paying? We will be paying to Anuradha. Anuradha account debit to bills payable account. Anuradha account debit to bills payable account. Amount is how much? Amount is rupees 36,000 minus 6,000 is equal to 30,000. 30,000 plus 725. You can check it here. If I am supposed to present it, I can show you the laser pointer also. Yes. Here we have mentioned Anuradha is our creditor by rupees 36,000. We have credited Anuradha's account. Then we have debited her account. 36,000 credit, 6,000 debit. That means she becomes our creditor only by rupees 30,000. Then again we credited her account by rupees 725. So she becomes our creditor by rupees 30,725, which we are adjusting against bills payable. So it will be 30,725. Being new bill accepted. So here you complete fourth transaction of point number 4, Anuradha. Okay, is there any other transaction? No, there are only 4 transactions, A, B, C, D. So if it is required, I am pausing the video. I am showing the full video, full screen. Please pause the video, write down the entries. If there is any doubt, please ask me in the comment section. I'll be surely going for it. So here we come to the last lecture of the topic of bills of exchange. We have considered extensively all the different varieties of problems on the topic of bills of exchange. Next topic I'll be considering is dissolution. Again, very important topic, compulsory question in examination, and many students find it difficult, confusing, because there is a map. Again, there are different steps which are required to be completed in a particular order. If you follow that order, then dissolution problem is also going to be easy, but that is in the next lecture. This is where we are completing our bill of exchange. We have solved a lot of different problems, we understood a lot of different concepts: negotiable instruments, bill of exchange, format of bill of exchange, promissory note, format of promissory note, concept of legal due date, concept of nominal due date, concept of grace days, understood the calculation of legal due date and nominal due date. We understood some special situations. If it is public holiday, then what is the case? If it is a emergency holiday, then what is the case? Then we understood how to calculate discount. We understood 4 different things which can happen in the life of a bill. Either it is retained, or it is discounted, or it is sent to bank for collection, or it is endorsed. Then we also understood what can happen at the end of the life. End of the life can be either honor or dishonor. If it is before the due date, it is honored, it is called as retired. If it is on the due date, it is honored, it is called as honored. If it is on the due date, it is dishonored, it is called as dishonored. If it is on the due date or before the due date, the request is made for the purpose of cancellation, it is called as renewal. Okay, so these are the different things which we have studied. Thereafter we try to understand the entries. We solved almost like 7 problems of basic nature just to understand all the different entries. Then we have considered a special lecture, summary lecture, in which all entries were considered by me in single lecture. 30 minutes lecture it was there, 30-35 minutes. And then we solved 17 different practical problems which may come in examination, out of which 12 questions were one party drawer, other party drawee, and then last 5 questions were same party can be sometimes draw or sometimes draw with different parties. In that case, how to do the transaction, that's what we have seen. We have also considered in the books of this party journal, in the books of that party ledger, or in the books of both the parties journal as well as ledger. We have considered lot of variety of problems. I'm very sure that probably now you must have started finding this topic to be easy. If there are any difficulties, don't forget to ask me below the respective problem in the comment section your doubts. I'll surely try to solve them at the earliest. Okay, so thank you very much. Let us now meet again in the next topic, that is dissolution of partnership firm. Okay, bye bye.